Hello and good morning. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
thank you. You're welcome. My name is Nortey
Thank you.
Samuel. Um, I'm going to be your algebra lecturer for the next few weeks. Um, Today we are going to look at the introduction to the course, but I will go through some few things that you need to be abreast with so that you can be always, you should know where to find what, how to access materials, how to get in touch with me if there is a need to. So on the page that I'm sharing right now, these are the things I'm going to go through. Okay? They are going to be brief, either maybe in the next 30 minutes, and I'll take you through the first introduction of algebra. Now, so first of all, I'm going to go through a material known as the steps to follow to be abreast with this course. Now, this material can be found on the LMS. I'm going to take my time and show you where all those things are uh, before we leave today. I kindly either raise your hand briefly if you want me to go over something so that I can address you. And then the class rep, if you have a class rep, please kindly send me a WhatsApp, send me a message telling me you're the class rep so that I can record your details as well if I need to send materials to you. Um, I'll show you my number. I'll type my number to you. If you're the class rep, maybe just type in the chat room, then I will send you my phone number so that you can send me a WhatsApp. Okay, so let's look at the steps to follow to be abreast with this class. So I'm going to share this document, which, like I said, will be found on the LMS later on when we are done, and I'll show you where it is on the LMS. So this is the document I'm referring to. It's basically um, information that we all need. So the first one has to do with two websites where your details are populated. Now, these websites, it is very important that you can access this website either at the beginning of the semester or at the end of the semester. It all depends on what we are doing. For example, this first one, so I am sure you are registered with the directorate. That's why you are in the class. So this has been taken care of. But this website known as the ERP or the SIP for students, it's where your details are populated. Now I'm going to go to that site briefly to show you what you need to know and also to also show you that if you have done your registration all right, then we should be able to see you and you should also be able to get access to us. So let me go to the ERP website briefly and then show you. Okay, so this is a ERP website. So that is gctu.erp.gctu.edu.gh. I'm going to log in. Okay, so I'm logging. This is my page. Now these are the students or these are the programs which I teach. They are all listed here currently. These are the courses I teach, fundamentals of logic and all that. So my courses are my page. Now I'm looking for your class. So this is your class, BSc Information Technology Distance Learning. You are 132. So when I click on this link, you see that if you have registered, your details will show here. So you see that your name, your index number, and then we have a, a row for the marks. We have what we call class mark and then the exam mark, and then um, the details. Now that you have not written any exam or taken any assessment, this page is completely blank. Now, I'm going back and I want to show you just, for example, those who have gone through this course. So I'm going to pick a particular class and then I'll show you what happens when these results are completed. Okay, so I'm choosing completed results for 2024, 2025. I'm just randomly picking a class, not distant learning. I just want to show you some things that can, okay, for example, this was last year's class, there were 84. And that is one was the first semester general intake, the other was for June intake. But I want to pick a BSc, the regular students. There's something I need you to see. Now, so these are the results of these students. Now, kindly take note of um, the column where the grades are and look at the alphabets that are displayed here. I want you to pay attention to some peculiar alphabets. So we have A, B, C, and we have D. Then at a point, you see a result like IC. Okay, I'm going to explain this as we go on. So IC, what does IC mean? And then we go down, down, down. And then you see a result as X. Okay, now just to take note of these variables that are shown here. So basically, these things come up when registration or writing exams when we are writing the exams, maybe you are not available and you're absent, then these variables comes. Absent is for X. IC means that you wrote the midterm, you didn't write the exams. Okay, so it's important that you will have to be visible on this platform right from day one. So since I went through with you, I mean, your details are there. There's 131 of you that are here. Okay, so let's go on. Now, the next website is known as the learning management system. Now, for distance learning, this page is very important for you. This is where all our materials, because we meet just about twice in a year and twice in a semester, all our materials are populated on this page. So it is very important that you can log into this page as and when you need to access any information. Now, so this is a page for the LMS. So you type lms.gctu.edu.gh and then you click on login. When you click on login, you realize that you have a default login in here. Now, for students who are now logging in, you will have your student's index number or GCTU email, and then you use this password, default password, to be able to log in. Okay, I have already logged in, so I just want to show you what you can find on my page. Okay, so this is my page, my LMS. Again, these are the courses I teach. So um, all these are the courses I teach. So this is your course. This is for distance learning. So when you are able to log in and you come to my page, you will be able to see the course description, the course details all populated on the page. So let me just go through briefly. The beginning gives you, so class rep, this is my WhatsApp number, 020-2698-193. I'm placing it in the chat room. Kindly send me your details so that I know that you are the class rep. Okay, then you have the summary of the course telling you what this course is all about. It also can be found on at the front of the page. And then you have a video that introduces the course to you. Now, if there is any announcement, this is where we play the announcement to tell you what you should expect. And then immediately following that, you have the course outline. That will be the next thing I'm going to discuss after this. So the course outline has the course, the details of the course and everything that we will assess you from. And then there is a book. Now for distance learning, there is actually a document that we use. Now this book, if you click on it, you see that it's a book that we designed so that you can follow it step by step. There are exercises, there are assignments, there are questions that you can answer. So you download this book, it becomes something like a textbook that we use. So it's on the page. And then this link, unfortunately, I think I need to edit this link. This is not the link we are using right now. I think I placed a year 2 link in there. So this is what the page is all about. Okay, so when you go to the weekly interactions, every topic that we need to take care of. For example, when I go through basic concepts of algebra, I'm going to go through the meaning of algebra, how to represent it, what are the operations, and how to apply it. Today, we'll briefly go through this. Maybe within about 30 minutes, we can take care of this. Now, the document I am using and I'm discussing, this is the document, steps to be abreast with the class. So it's also on the page. And then last year, the first batch, I recorded their video. So I have their video here. So this is the first lecture and the interaction we had. So those who may not join us early or those who will want to watch what transpired, I am sure at the end of today's lecture, they will upload today's video as well. Okay. And then this is the first PowerPoint on algebraic expression. Now, there is something called Socrative. I'll discuss that later on. So this is a website that helps us to interact. When I'm through and I have questions for you, brief questions, I'll give you this room name, and then you can access this page, and I can see you, and you can see me with the questions I'm giving. Now, at the end of every lecture, there are two types of questions. The first type are group assignments. Because of your numbers, one of the things we do is we allow you to solve questions as a group, and then you submit the solution as a group. Okay, so for example, this is algebraic expression and operation. This is a group assignment, and there are deadlines for the submissions. Now, if, for example, by virtue of when you do it, I need to extend the deadline, you let me know, I can extend it. And then there are individual quizzes. So those are quiz on algebraic expression. It's a 15 multiple choice question, about 20 minutes, and you will have about 2 attempts. Okay, so this is, let's say, week 1, everything that we need to know about algebra and its expression. Then you go to week 2 or unit 2, the same procedure. You have a PowerPoint, then you have practice questions, then you have Socrative, then you have the video, and then the video, sometimes the videos are more than one. Then you have the group assignments, and then you may have a quiz that you do at the end. So this is how the website has been designed, okay? Every topic, every unit, there will be PowerPoint, there will be video, there will be Socrative, there will be group assignments, there will be individual quizzes. So all the way up to the last topic, which is series and sequence. Series and sequence is the last one. Actually, induction is the last one, but induction is treated in discrete, which you will take in second semester. So normally I don't ask questions here, but it is here. The materials are here, okay? And then your mid-semester exams also is activated here. So if with the mid-semester quiz will be here, you come here and log in. So this page is a little page telling you exactly how we can interact if there is an issue, how you can access them. Okay, so all these can be found on the LMS, which we call the Moodle page. Okay, so now let's go back and then finish with the steps that we were discussing. Okay, so I've gone through the ERP, I've gone through the LMS. The next one is a course outline. I think that was what I have opened to. So this is your course outline. Again, the course outline tells you everything you need to know about the course. So algebra, at the beginning of the course outline, it has my details. Okay, my office on campus, my office hours if you will need to contact me. The second part deals with the topics in the course we are taking. So algebra, from quadratic equations to logarithms to exponential to linear equations to matrices, all the way up to induction. These are the topics. And then the objectives of this course. At the end of the course, there are things which, when we are assessing you, we look out for. For example, today we'll look at algebra. So at the end of today's lecture, you should be able to simplify algebraic expression, okay? So we should be able to simplify an algebraic expression, or you should be able to translate phrases or word phrases, word problems into mathematical language or to algebraic form. So today, like this, at the end of today's lecture, there's two outcomes. You should be able to do it, okay? So the rest will deal with the various topics. Demonstrates familiarity in graphing function, how to be able to use logarithms and exponents on the calculator and to evaluate them, how to solve matrices and their operations, and how to be able to demonstrate familiarity with series and sequence and some probability. So these are the objectives of the course. Now, what background do you need to do this? Now, if you have taken any math course, then you should be able to handle this course as well. So it shouldn't be something that will stress you out. It should be something which basically you should be able to handle. Now, because we are distant learners, we need to have one, a calculator and a digital device. Right now, I don't know whether you are attending this class on your phone, using your phone or a laptop. So if you are using a phone or a laptop, it is very important that you have a gadget by your side which we can easily interact. The next thing I'm going to show you is to go online and be able to answer some few details about yourself. So I need a laptop by you, the same laptop you are using, just open a browser and then you'll be able to do it. Okay. Now, these are the reading material. Already, we have given you a reading material on the Moodle platform. So there are other reading materials that are on the platform, PDFs, videos, and audios. Okay. And then we use several social media platforms. Last year, group, for example, I requested they created a Telegram page. Sometimes when I need to send or people need more interaction in terms of some topics, I may do a short video, either place it on the Moodle or drop it in their Telegram page. So this all depends on your class, depends on your group. If you let me know what works for you, we'll work towards that. So as we get there, as we go through, we will definitely will work around these things. And then, like I said, I will prefer you having time, even though you are distant learners and you are not at a location, when it comes to assignments, when it comes to solving problems, I recommend either use a Zoom. Right now, this Zoom link is for you. And I'm sure you can easily log in. That is on days that you don't have lectures and do your discussions. So when you are given a group assignment, you can decide that if you're in group one, let's meet maybe on Friday evening, or let's meet depending on your availability. That is after you are individually have gone through and then discuss your solution, and one person can solve and then upload your results on the Moodle platform. This helps you to be able to learn from each other. Okay, so these group discussions and online discussion, it is something you have to cultivate. You have to get to know each other, and then you must try and work around this. The materials that we have online, they came from books like this. So these are the books. Okay, so you can take your time. If you have a good site, you can download some of these books yourself. But basically, the model book is enough for this course. Now then, assessments. How do we assess this course? Okay, so when I went through the model, I told you that there are quizzes on the model platform. So some quizzes will be on the model, some will be on Socrative, and the mid-semester exams, for example, will be on Moodle platform, and it will also be on Socrative. The written and completed assignments are the ones which you'll be uploading on your Moodle platform. So there is no individual submission of assignment, with the exception of the quizzes, the 15 multiple choices quizzes. Those are the questions that you will solve yourself individually. The rest of the questions on the platform, please kindly solve them as a group. Maybe with the help of your class rep, you'll see how you can divide yourself, see what works for you. But normally, 10 people in a group, and then they will take one question they solve. These are the grades of the course. So you realize that mid-semester exams takes about 30% of all the assignments you do. Your group assignment takes about 5%. Class attendance takes about 5%, and then your final exam takes about 60%. This is my mood, or this is the way I grade my students, okay? But for reasons that sometimes we cannot handle because you are in distant learning, um, I may not be able to get all these percentages. So what happens is that looking at the assignment you're able to do, looking at the attendance you're able to do, I may pick some of these things to represent your continuous assessment. Okay. As for the final exams, it will be in the domain of the directorate. They will handle when you do it. Now look at the grades. Remember when I went through the first website, I showed you grade like X. So X means you're absent, Z means that you are disqualified, IC means that there is an incomplete result, and then when you see AD, it means there is an audit. Please, these grades are not assigned by me, or it won't be assigned by the lecturer. They automatically are assigned from the system, and then finally from the directorate. If you are in a department, the head of department. But since you are in the ICD, then they will finally will decide what grades you get. And this happens when you are not able to turn up for an exam or turn up for a continuous assessment. Okay, so when you see those things, and the issue is that you wrote the exam, so you kindly will alert them, and then we do the corrections. Okay, so this is the course outline. The rest are the topics, like I said, that have been arranged according to the units. So unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, and unit 5 and 6. Basically, like you saw in the model page. Okay. Okay, so these are the information that you find on my course outline. Now, so far, is there any question for me? Any clarity? We are now going to start exercising. So, is there anything you want clarity to? A question for me? I haven't seen a hand up, Joe. If not, then we continue.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Vincent.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, it seems like the network isn't good. It's breaking at my side. So I couldn't hear what you said about, you said grading. That X, Z, and those things are not from you, but they are from.
Yeah, they are actually assigned by the page. Okay. So they are
Okay.
assigned by the ERP page. When we upload results, either your column or the row where your name is, you don't have, let's say, mark for midterm or mark for exam, then the system automatically will assign Z to your grade. Okay, so I was just suggesting that if you wrote the exams and you see your results and they are showing those grades, then you alert. First of all, alert the directorate, and they will alert us as lecturers. If the marks are there, then we will make them available. So those are the meaning of
Okay.
those
Okay.
letters. Okay, Solomon, your hand is up.
Uh, yes, sir. You spoke about the attendance, sir. And
Yes.
so I don't know. Would we have to log in and because I see others posting their index numbers and their names. Would that be what
Okay.
we used to do that the attendance?
Yes. Okay. Okay. So as for the attendance, the directorate has their own way of doing their attendance. But for me, I'm going to take you through an exercise in the next few minutes, and you realize that I'll get your attendance. But if you were here when we started, I posted on the introductory page, I posted every time you attend my lecture, you see that I will tell you that kindly mute your mics and type your names and index numbers in the chat room. Now, WhatsApp Zoom has an application. That Zoom application is such that when we end this Zoom and I download your video, the folder that comes, that chat room can be downloaded and it can have all the details that I have. I use this for my regular students. And sometimes people forget to type in those. So I'm going to go through rather something that I do. I call it the Socrative room name. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to go through that with you and then show you how to enter your details. And you realize that you yourself, you see yourself, and I'll see yourself, and I'll see you as well. That at the end of the day will be my attendance. So please, as for attendance, don't worry too much. All you need to do is just show up. Immediately you show up and you enter your details into my Socrative page, I will get you. Or you type your details in the chat room, I'll get you. Okay, there's a hand up. It's HP. I don't know who you are. Please ask your question.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Uh, I wanted you to elaborate more on the group assignment thing, because I don't know if maybe after meeting in our various groups, we are going to send all of the members of the group are just going to submit the same assignment.
Okay. So let me first of all show you. I wanted to take you through Socrates before I go to group. Group is the last thing here. But basically, this is how group assignment works. So all I need from you is um, the members of your group. Now, you don't even need to send me a list. First of all, with the help of your reps, just divide yourself into some group, right? On the ERP, you guys are about 130 or maybe 140. So if you do 10 in a group, you'll be getting about 13 groups. And if you get 13 groups, then this is what happens. Let me show you how the group assignment looks like. I hope I have opened one. Okay, so this is the first group assignment on Algebra, and you are going to see this on the elements. So when you download it, you see that it will be algebraic expressions and inequality. And if you go down, you see that the groups are up to group 11, group 12, group 13, group 15, up to 16. So these questions like this, if you are in group 1, then group 1 will answer just these 3 questions, okay? And then you are done. When you finish, you just either you take a screenshot, convert to PDF, and upload it on the platform, or you can type if you are good at typing. You type it nicely with the members of your group. Okay, when you are submitting it, either at the top or at the end of the assignment, then you type your details into it. So this is how the group questions look like, and I have 2 types. There are types which have been arranged as group and there are types which have not been arranged as groups. I don't think I have. Okay, so this is, for example, another group question. It's been arranged session 1, session 2, but the questions are not many. If you go down, there are only 5. So if the questions are just 5, then it means that you can have 2 or 3 groups just solving one session. Okay, so you just decide which of them you are solving. I don't care if 3 or 4 people solve session 2. All I want is that you should be able to, each group should be able to attempt the questions given. Now, if the questions are not arranged as group 1, group 2, group 3, or session 1, session 2, session 3, but they are just numbers 1 to, let's say, 5, then for such questions, I would recommend everybody should do all of them or at least one of them. And the reason why I'm saying at least one is that you are not regular students. And these things were designed in mind when it was done for regular students. So for them, they are coming to school every day. So you hope that when you give something like this, within a week, they can do it. So questions that have not been arranged as group 1, group 2, group 3, but they are like 4 questions or 5 questions or 10 questions, then I'll say that if you have the ability, you can try all of them. Everybody, every group should try the same question or try at least one of them in that group of questions that you have. Okay, HP, I hope I have answered your question. So as a group assignment, basically, when you download the question, depending on what is given, you decide which one you will do, depending on the groups you have. Okay, friends, so say your question, please.
Sir, please, my question was on the link that you were showing us, the www.erp.com. Yeah, I
Okay.
tried reaching it, but it's not going through. It said can't be
Yes,
reached.
so yeah, that one is when your results are posted. So that's why I'm saying that either at the beginning or at the end of the semester. That site is for when you have written an exam and we have posted your details. So right now you haven't written an exam. I don't think that you can be able to. But the students, immediately they write the exams, they tell me that we can see our results. And sometimes they call it the SIP platform. So if you can access this one from the beginning, please don't worry too much. I'm sure that as time goes on, when they populate all your details, you will be able to access them. And when the results are populated to you, you'll be able to see them. But the second one is what you really need immediately to be able to access, because that is where all our materials are. Okay, then another hand up, Sam Sherry. Your hand is up.
Yes. Good morning.
Good
I'm Sam
morning.
Sherry. I'm the course rep. I was going to say that ours is the SIP. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that correction. So it's not, we call it ERP, but when we populate it, it comes into your SIP. I don't have the link for that. So maybe if class rep has it, he will make it available for you. Okay, so those who, if my link is breaking, I don't know it's from my end. I'm in the office, I'm using Office Network. So I don't know whether it's from my end, but basically, okay, Sam, thank you. He has placed it in the chat room. It's gctu sip.gctu.edu.gh. So please. You can access that link, what I call the ERP. Thank you for those questions. Please, at the end of every lecture, my lecture especially, you are going to be visible online on a platform known as socrative.com. Now, you will see that when you go to the model, depending on the timing and depending on network connectivity, like people are complaining that the line is breaking, I will leave this room for a period of time, normally 24 to 48 hours. And for weekend students, sometimes it can be longer. So I'm going to go through with you how to access that. So if you are using your phone, please, step 1, kindly type in the browser, student login to Socrative. I'm going to do it alongside with you so that we can all access. So you come to a browser like this. I hope you can see my browser. I've already typed in student login Socrative. Okay. Immediately you are able to type that. Please do it alongside. If you have internet and you have the time, please do it. Then you click on the student login. When you click on the student login, you will see the screen that is being shown here. Now I'm going to copy the room name, okay, as I have in the page for the login. This is the room name. It is welcome, one word, DIT, distant, DIST, learn. So this learn, Jan 2026. Please, if you are not sure, just go to the chat room. I'm placing it in the chat room right now and copy it and paste it straight away into the room. Okay? So now if I place this thing in the room right now, no space, no break, all uppercase. Then you click on join. You click on join. Immediately you click on join, you see that it will ask you to enter your name. Okay? So I'm going to enter my name. I'm not a student, so I'm just going to use my initials. Okay? And then click on done. Immediately, you will see some innocent questions that shows up. So currently, this is the room name for you guys. I think because I use this, it's locked me out. Let me see whether I can identify you. Okay, so this is you. Now, those who have been able to log in, so I can see you now. Distant learners. So I've seen Abdullah Sani, God's Way. So you can see that immediately you log in, your details show up here. Okay. So this exercise right now is to help you to know how to log into Socrative. And this, what you are doing right now is just collating some few details about you. I'm not going to use it for anything, but just to help you know how to access Socrative. Subsequently, you get Socrative for exercises. So if you are still online, just look on your screen. See that if you go to my library, I have questions on algebraic expression. So the next room name I'll give, okay? So there's good questions on algebraic expression. There are questions on relations and functions. There's questions on algebra and sets. So I have a lot of question bank for you. So at the end of every lecture, I'm going to give you a room name for those topics, if the topics happens to have some questions available. Okay? So if you are logging in and it's giving you error, then either you're not typing in the room name correctly, or you are leaving a space either before or at the end. Abdullah, what's your question? You have your hand up.
Please, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please, they are asking about the WhatsApp qualification. Is it that we should choose our 3 best core subjects and 3 best elective, or 4 best core subjects and 3 best elective?
Okay, so you're asking whether you should do that or
Yeah.
confirmation of that?
Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Just put your 3 best in there. Thank you. Okay, so basically this is how Socrates works, and I'm sure you can continue and do it. I'm going to leave this room open, just for you to realize that Socrates is effective, and it is used by not me alone. It's used by so many lecturers. So I will recommend that when we give you exercises, kindly take your time and do them so that we can be able to measure your feedback based on the response you give. Okay, so that is what Socrative is all about. And for the person who has a question about attendance, please, when I click on finish, I'll be able to get an Excel of your names and then your details you answered. Okay, so that is for Socrative. Now, sometimes when you go to the Moodle page, when people are not able to get the room name correctly, the exercise you are doing, this is the barcode for it. So if you have a phone and you can't log in, you scan this barcode and it takes you straight into the room. So this is also made available to you. Okay, so I think that is the end of the steps that you need to follow to be abreast with this class. And I hope I've answered all your questions and also filled your curiosity with respect to what to expect the way this course is designed. Okay. Now, then the next 10 minutes, I'm going to introduce the first lecture notes, lecture materials on algebra to you. Somebody said the room name again, Priscilla. Priscilla, this is a room name. It's Welcome, BITDISTLERN, Jan 2026. Okay. Okay, so let's go on. So this, please, this thing will be there. And when we close the class, you still can, if you haven't finished, you can finish up. Now, I'm going to introduce the first material to you. And from there, you can then go back on the platform. If you have more questions or more exercises, you can just go there and then use the materials that I have there to answer more questions and make this very, very interactive for you. So this PowerPoint is a few pages. It won't take too long. And we are just going to introduce what algebra is, why algebra, why algebraic expression, why the operations, and what do we need them for, okay? So we are going to go through them briefly. Then your questions, let them come. Either raise your hand or you will give me a feedback as we go on. Now, when you type in algebra, application to information technology, or algebra application to computer science, you see that it is one of the fundamental mathematics that you need to have an idea of, because it is used in the application. It has a lot of application respect to programming, to coding, to deriving correct algorithm, to deriving correct codes, and all that. So algebra is very basic, and it's important that we are able to understand how to be able to write them correctly, interpret them correctly, and solve them correctly. So in this slide, I'm just going to go through the first, I think, 3 bulleted points. The last 3 or 4, if I'm not able to go through it, don't worry, you see them in the model textbook on platform. But basically, at the end, everybody should know how to know the meaning of algebra, how to represent them, how to identify their expressions, and how to know which operations to use. That is what this is all about. Now, let's pick algebra and its definition. We normally call this the arithmetic of letters because it is maths that involves letters and numbers. So anytime we have algebra, we are dealing with arithmetic of letters. Okay. Now, immediately we start extending them to certain operations, and we start having algebraic expressions. So that's the first definition. The principal characters are distinguished or are differentiated by symbols. So when you are given an algebraic expression, we characterize them by the operations we use. Are we adding them? Are we multiplying them? Are we dividing them? Okay. These operations, mathematical operations, helps us to characterize our algebraic expression. Then this gentleman known as René Descartes in the 17th century, he introduced the use of the variables. So when you have 2x plus 3y plus 7 something, that use of the variables was introduced by René. And today we can write quadratic equations, we can write linear equations, we can write polynomials. It is because of this gentleman and what he came to do. So one, we are saying that algebra is the arithmetic of numbers, basically. And when we have the numbers, we add them, we subtract them, we multiply, and we divide them. And we represent information using these numbers. Basically, that's what we are saying. Somebody said, please, this is a response I'm having. You have completed the current. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Please, when you complete the 12 questions, you see something like a time clock. You know the symbol for time clock, like a measuring cylindrical measure. When you see it on your screen, it means you are done. You can log out. Okay. So that is what Socrative does. Okay. Now let's go on. Now, when do we use addition? When do we use subtraction? When do we multiply these algebraic expression? I'm going to show you when in terms of phrases that are used. Okay. We'll know when to multiply them and add them and on and on and on. But before that, there are three things we need to know. When you are giving an algebraic expression, you must know that there are one, the number of terms, two, there are coefficients, and three, there are constants. So anytime you have an expression, we must be able to identify these things that I am talking about. So in an example here, n plus 8 is an expression. A times B is an expression. 3m, 6n minus 6 is also an expression. But what are the terms? When we are given an algebraic expression, what are the terms? So let's start from 1, the coefficients. The coefficients of any algebraic expressions are the numbers that multiply the variable. So 6m plus 5, the coefficient is 6. 8r plus 7m plus 4, the coefficients are 8 and 7. And for 14b minus 8, the coefficient is 14. So the first thing we are learning about algebra is that when you have an expression, we can identify the coefficient. Now, the second is how many terms are in the algebraic expression. Now, the terms are the number of things that are separated by the operation. So when you take a plus 2, that means there are two terms, then the variable a and the number 2. Okay? And then if you take 3m plus 6n minus 6, there are three terms. Okay? The first term is 3m, the second term is 6n, and the last term is the value 6. Then the last thing we need to know is what are the constants? The constants are normally the value that doesn't change. It's normally at the end of the expression. Okay? So given an algebraic expression, we should know coefficient, we should know terms, and we should know the constants. Now let's pick an example. So for this expression like this, 12a minus 6b plus 4, how many terms are here? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
There are three terms. Okay. Okay.
Yes,
How
sir.
many coefficients are here? God's way.
Two,
There are
sir.
two of them. There are two of them. And how many constants are there?
One.
One. Okay. Thank you. So these are the three things we look out for in any algebraic expression. Okay. Now when the equations are given, it's easy. You either solve or you group like terms or you factorize. But when they don't give you these things and they give you phrases, things like this, 3 more than a number, a quotient of a number and an 8, and stuff like that. When do I know that I'm multiplying? When do I know that I'm adding or subtracting? When? So we need to know this first. When you use these words, then you are adding. When you use the word add itself, or you use the word as plus, sum, total, increase by, and then more than, then it means that you are using addition. When you use minus, difference, subtract, less than, decrease by, or less, they all mean subtraction. And when we come to product, times, and multiply, it means we are multiplying. And when we use quotient and divide, it means we are using the symbol for division. Okay, so based on this, when you are given a phrase like 3 more than 10, let me take this out of the PowerPoint mode first. When you are given the phrase 3 more than x, please take note. We normally write the number always on the right-hand side. We write the number on the right-hand side of the operation. What is my operation? My operation is more than, okay? My operation is more than. So when we say 3 more than a number, you realize that we write the 3 on the right-hand side of the operation. So who can help us with? How will you phrase the equation 3 plus x? How will the equation 3 plus x be read?
It will be read as x more than 3.
X more than 3, or you want to say a number more than 3?
Number more than
Okay. So that is what they are calling x more than 3. Okay, so you should have said a number more than 3, where the number becomes your x. Okay, so
Okay.
it is very important that when you read a phrase, when you identify the operation, you write the number or the variable on the right-hand side of the operation. Okay, so if you come to the number 4, 15 less than, operation is less than. You see that less than, we write the number 15 on the right-hand side of the less than. Okay, so now let's see whether with this knowledge, you can do this one for me. N more than a number, if the number is n, how will this read?
N more than a number.
N more than a number, how will the equation look like?
I'll use the number x, so
It
x
will
plus
be
10.
X plus 10.
n.
X
Yes.
plus 10. Okay, thank you. X plus 10. Let's see. What about a number decreased by 5?
So
So it will be x number.
so 5 minus 5.
X minus
5
5.
minus 10.
No,
X,
5
no, it
minus
will be
X
what?
minus
5 minus
5.
x.
Yes,
X
x minus 5.
minus
5 minus x.
X
No,
minus
it's
5.
5. It's 5 minus x.
Remember,
Minus 5.
we said that the number should be written on the right-hand side. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So decrease is minus. Okay.
So
A number
5 minus
decreased by 5. So it will be you'll be
X
decreasing
minus
the
5.
number by 5. So it will be x minus 5, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's take the next one. Interesting enough, is my what is 6
Come on.
less than a number?
X minus
Hey,
6.
hey, neighbor.
6 less than a number.
X
Minus
minus 6.
X minus 6. Okay.
Yes, x minus 6.
X minus 6. Okay. What about a number increased by 8?
X
A
plus
plus
8.
X plus 6. X plus 8.
X
X
plus
plus
8.
8.
X
Okay.
plus 8.
Now the sum of a number and 9.
X
X plus 9.
X plus 9.
X
plus
plus
9.
9. Okay. What about 4 more than a number?
X plus 4.
X plus 4.
X
X
plus
plus
4.
4.
X plus 4.
Okay. Thank you. So these are the answers you see. And therefore you realize that you've gotten it. Okay, so there are more of these questions in the slide on the PowerPoint, on the LMS. I recommend you do as many as you can. But let's try these 3. Now, if S stands for Sam's brother, if S, the letter S stands for Sam's brother, how will you write, what equation will be Sam's brother is 2 years younger than Sam?
X plus 2.
S plus 2,
Say
yes.
X minus 2.
No, if it's S minus 2, then it is then S is standing for Sam
Plus
itself.
2.
Yes,
S plus
X plus 2, yeah.
S plus 2. Thank you. Now, what about the sum of 2 numbers is 12?
X plus 12.
12.
X plus what?
X plus Y. X plus Y.
X plus Y is equal to
To
12.
X plus Y
Okay.
equals to 12.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What about the difference between 2 numbers is 5?
X
minus Y equals 5 to 5.
minus Y equals to 5.
Okay, S minus Y equals to 5. Okay, so
Yeah.
these are the equations that we have here. Okay, now there are more. I think, let me give you one more. How will you, there's one, yeah, the last one, number 7, 10 times the number increased by 150.
150 plus 10x.
You think 150 should come
Yes.
first?
10x
No.
plus
No, it's going to be
10x plus 150.
10x plus
10x
150.
150.
10x plus 150.
Plus
Thank you.
150,
Okay. Now look at which one do I want? Number 6. The sum of 3/4 of a number and 7.
So
3
x.
over 4n plus 7.
3 over
Yes.
4n plus
Plus
7.
7.
X.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I
The sum
recommend
is
that please, the sum is plus. So you have
yes.
taken 3 over 4 n or x
N.
plus the
So 3 over 4 plus x.
no.
That's
It says no. It says 3 over 4 of a number. Okay, 3 over
That's
4
x.
of a number. So 3/4 x or 3/4
yeah,
n
3/4 x plus 7.
x plus 7.
Plus
Thank
7.
Plus
you.
7. Yes,
Great,
3/4 x
great,
plus
great.
7.
Thank you. Thank you. So that is how these expressions are. Now I'm going to go to, there are more questions. Like I said, there are more. I will recommend take your time and go through them. The last part of this is how do you represent algebraic expression using absolute values? And
You
please,
started this one.
this is where your exam questions comes in. So I recommend that you will pay attention to this one. And I have a few of the exercises that we will try. Now, first of all, when you're given any variable in using an absolute value of that variable, then that variable can either be positive or it can be negative. When you say absolute x, it means that x can either be a positive value or it can be a negative value. Now, absolute values are written for variables and for numbers. If you are asked to find the absolute value of a number, then you will always print out or you always write out the positive answer. For example, absolute value of 5 is always 5. Absolute value of -5 is always 5. For numbers, when they are placed in that absolute value sign, the result is always the positive value. But when you are given a variable like this, anytime you remove the absolute value of a variable, your answers should be more than 1. So absolute value of x is equal to a, okay? Means that when I remove the absolute value, x should either be equal to positive a or x should be equal to negative a. Okay, now for you to be able to appreciate something like this, let me see if I can show you last year's paper so that we can try one or two of them before I will let you guys go. And at least you realize that today we have be able to handle this. Okay, Emmanuel Sichi, you've raised your hand. What's your question, please?
So please, can you go over this particular place for me again?
You mean the absolute value thing? Okay, I wanted to solve a question. Okay, so I'm saying that when you are given an absolute value of a variable, absolute value of x, or absolute value involving a variable, then when you remove the absolute value, you should equate your variable to the positive of the answer and also to the negative of the answer. Unlike when you are dealing with absolute value of a number, you see absolute value of a number like this. That one, when you remove the absolute value, you should only print out the positive, whether the number in absolute value is either positive like this or it is negative. In other words, absolute value of numbers will always be positive. But absolute values of variables will give you two possibilities, okay? It will be equal to the positive of the answer, and it will also be equal to the negative of the answer. So let's try one. I want this to go down well. So let me show you the question, then we come to a place we can type our answers. Now, look at these questions. So if you take your time and look at this, this was information technology. Which class is this? I think this is distance learning. If this is not done, this will be the regular class. I'm not too sure. Okay, so this was 2025, last year's paper. The first question, objective question, was solve for x, where the absolute value of 5x minus 10 plus 9 is equal to 11. Okay, so what do we want from here? We want to see how to solve problems like this. And to do that, we want to pick a simple explanation sheet to do that. I have so many files open in my file. My page is so okay. So see whether we can use this Excel document to try this. I hope you can see the Excel document on your page. So I've typed the questions here, but let's try basically what we have here. So I'm picking this definition that I have here, and I'm saying that if x anytime you have absolute value of x, then x something like this. If I have x, based on what I have written here, then x minus 5 should be equal to positive 20. Okay? Or x minus 5 should be equal to negative 20. That is after I've removed the absolute value sign. Now let's take the one on the left. If I take the value x minus 5, and I take the value minus 5 to the right-hand side, I'm going to get 20 plus 5. And therefore, my answer here will be x will be equal to 25. Now, if I go to the left-hand side and I equated x minus 5 to negative 20, then if I take negative 5 to the right-hand side, then I'm going to get x to be equal to negative 20 plus 5. And therefore, this will be equal to, x will be equal to negative 15. Please tell me you follow this. I hope you follow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. We are following, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so now, thank you. So Abdullah, what's your question? You have a hand up.
Please, can you come over again?
Okay, so all I did was that I took the question that was showing the absolute value sign and I equated it to the positive of the answer and I equated it to the negative of the answer. That is how I approach this. So I removed the absolute value sign in my first line and I equated it to positive 20 and then I equated it to negative 20. Now remember, I'm solving for x, and solving for x simply means that take all of constants to the other side of the number or the equation. So if I make x a subject in this equation, then x becomes the 20 that I have here plus 5, because when negative 5 crosses the equal to sign, it becomes plus 5. And 20 plus 5 gives me 25. But on the left-hand side, because already the answer is negative, when I take plus 5 to the other end, it becomes negative 20 plus 5. So my x now becomes negative 15. Okay, so when you solve inequalities, when you solve absolute value variables, the possible answers you get are 2, not just one answer. Absolute values of variables will give you 2 answers. Okay, so let's try the question that was given in the exam. Okay, so this was the paper they solved last year. So absolute value of 5x minus 10 plus 9 is equated to 11. Now remember, what do we do next? Remember, we must solve for x. So what I did was, the first thing I have to do is that I take the minus 9 to the right-hand side. So still, absolute value of 5x minus 10 should be equal to 11 minus 9. Okay? 11 minus 9 will be equal to the value 2. So now, I now have the absolute value now alone on the left. And it is equated to the answer 2. Then the formula comes in. If I remove the absolute value of 5x minus 10, then I'll equate it to the positive of the answer, and I'll equate it to the negative of the answer. So 5x minus 10 here will be equated to positive 2, and then 5x minus 10 here will be equated to negative 2. I hope you see how this runs out. First of all, make sure absolute value is alone on the left before you equate it to the solution. Don't negate the solution right from the word go. Make sure that absolute value is alone on the left-hand side. Then equate it to the solution, positive and the negative. And then you make x the subject. So here, when I take minus 10 to the right-hand side, it gives me 2 plus the value 10. That gives me that, left with something else. So remember, this is 5x is equal to 2 plus 10. That is going to give me 12. Therefore, my answer for x is divide both sides by 5. I end up getting 12 divided by 5. And then for this one, remember that I'm going to get 5x to be equal to -2, okay, plus 10. And -2 plus 10 will give me +8. Okay, then I divide both sides by, am I getting +8? Good.
Please,
Root
plus
12.
You wrote
yes,
12 instead of
plus
10.
10, not 12.
Okay. So now I divide both sides by 5. I'm now going to get 8 divided by 5. Okay, so now you realize that when you go back to the question, you see that our answer here will be C. Okay, our answer here is going to be the answer C. So questions like this is how you go about them. I think there's another one here. This is, I think, another class. The same type of question. This time, I have half into bracket 2x plus 8 minus 10. So what do you do first? You have to get rid of all the things on the left, and it will be left with 2x plus 8. So what do we do? You multiply through by 2, or you can start by taking minus 10 to the right-hand side. That will give you +8. Then you multiply through by 2, and then you remove the absolute value and solve for x. Okay, so basically this is where we are going with all those algebra things. So you remember when I went through the course outline, I said by the end of today's lecture, you should be able to simplify algebraic expression, identify it, simplify. So with the introduction we've done, you see this question like this is algebra. Next week, we'll look at inequality. So you'll be able to do this. Now, if you go to section B of the paper, you see that the first question will be algebraic expression, and then they will give you the story problem we're going through. 10 years ago, Juliet was 4 times old as Becky. Now she's only twice as old as Becky. Find their present age. Okay, so everything that we have introduced today, they virtually will run through what you see basically in your exam. Okay, I'm seeing a hand up. Somebody raised their hand. It was Alfred. Alfred, what's your question, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Sir, please, I know it's just introduction, but I don't know if you can help solve the example one for us to see. The example one. The
Which example?
one that's half, that's 1/2.
Okay.
Please, I'll be very happy
Okay.
to see. Yes,
Okay,
please.
then.
Thank you.
I didn't want to load you too much, but if you want to, let's try
Yes,
that.
yes,
So
please. Thank
the
you.
equation is half, what is it? Half into bracket 2x plus 8 minus 10 is equal to minus 2. Hope you can remember it. Rather, let me do it this way. Okay, so let's see if we can do this. So I'm going to pick this here, and so we are going to have here half 1 divided by 2. Then we have 2x. This is 2x. 2x plus 8. Minus 10 is equal to -2. So let's try this. Now, so I'm saying that first thing we do is that we take minus 10 to the other side. So I'm going to get half absolute value of 2x plus 8. Okay, should be equal to -2 plus 10. Okay, -2 plus 10 will give me +8. Okay, now then, I have to now multiply through this equation by 2. If I multiply the left-hand side here by 2, it will get rid of the half. So I'll be left with absolute value of 2x plus 8 like this. And then on the right-hand side, remember that the answer is 8. What is 2 times 8? 2 times 8 will simply give me 16. Okay, now then, I can now have into bracket 2x plus 8 will be equated to positive 16. That's my first answer. And then the second one will be 2x plus 8 will be equated to negative 16. Now that I'm having the absolute value left alone on the left-hand side. Now then, I want to now evaluate the whole of this. I want this. Okay, so when I take 2x standing alone, 2x will be equal to 16 minus 8, and the answer should be 8. Okay, and therefore x will be equal to 8 divided by 2, and the answer should be 4. On the right-hand side, when I take 2x and I now take 8 to the other side, this gives me minus 16 minus 8. Minus 16 minus 8, what would that give me? 20 what? 24.
Minus 24.
Minus 24.
Minus
Minus 24.
Minus 24.
Good. So now I divide minus 24 by 2. I divide minus 24 by 2. So x will now be equal to negative 24 divided by 2, and my answer should be negative 12. Okay. So this is how this solution will look like. Okay, so that reminds me. I promised myself that at the end of today, I know people will ask more questions or will want to have more questions on this. So I have a file which yesterday evening I downloaded specifically for today's class. I have some of the files open already. So I'm going to drop them in the chat room right now. Please, this one is not on the LMS. Okay, so these are exercises. Their answers are at the bottom. There are 3 of them. I call them worksheet 1, worksheet 2, worksheet 3. So please, this is your individual thing. You're not supposed to submit it to me, but for you to practice what we've done, I'll drop these files inside the chat room. You should download it before we close today's lecture. So all the things we've done today, especially the absolute value, you can take your time and solve them. So this is the first one, okay? This is the second one. The answers are at the bottom. If you go down, you see that the answers have been given. So you can solve and then see whether you are getting the answers. And this is the third one, okay? So I'm going to drop them in the chat room right now. Then you can take note of it. Okay, so I'm done. Today the whole class was introduction, and basically I'll be able to introduce you to what this course is all about, and at the same time let you know how to be able to access the information that you need. Now I also introduce you to Socrative. It's important that you know how to access Socrative anytime we come in here. Okay, so please take your time and make sure that whenever we are giving a room name, even if you are not able to finish, you try and work through and get your room names working for you. But without that, we will not be able to give me feedback at the end of the class. It's more for feedback session. So you realize that the answers you give me at the end of these Socrative, I'm not too much keen on whether you are getting 9/10 or 10 over something, please. That is not the aim, is to be able to know that, oh, today we did this and I was able to participate. And when I did it, I got these answers, okay? If you didn't get it, please continue to practice and practice and practice. And basically you get the information you need. Okay, Nathan, kindly tell me what your question is. I've placed the files in the chat room. So if you're interested, download them on your phones or on your laptop and try them. If you're interested and you want, I will give it to your rep as well. Okay, Nathan, what's your question?
Please, I wanted to find out briefly. They're so creative. Do you have to go through these questions anytime you log in, sir, please?
Okay, so I explained that today is for introduction. Next week, when I'm done with linear equations and linear inequality, I'm going to give you another room name, and you will now take care of questions that has to do with algebraic expression. Currently, what you are doing right now is simply introduction. So I'm saying that there's a quiz. You see that there's algebraic expression here. Next week, when you come, that will be the Socrative, and the room name will be given. So that is how I deal with every lecture. Okay, you are welcome. I can also see your comments. Okay, thank you very much. So thanks for coming, and let's continue to gradually build each other up. And definitely, if you have challenges with maths, even before you met me, I am very sure when you are done, you'll kind of like the subject, and also be able to get some good grades out of this course that we are doing. Okay, God bless you for coming and enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
I beg the group.
Well, I guess with those of us who are really, really keen on algebraic and stuff, Charlie, again, so I beg you, those who are really good with it, you kindly help us with it in the WhatsApp group because wow, this is just the introduction and it seems so distorted and stuff.
I be a course register for do online group. So we go let I be people they see the way people they teach math
If
for online.
we take the group serious, you have to make the group discussion serious.
Even learning math for online, see how it head.
COVID people, we don't learn like that too. COVID people,
Sure, if you sit up, go take some cool water and then sleep. Later go no.
Okay, guys. So the next session is at 11:15. So
hey,
if we want to,
why? What are you eating?
Come again with the timings, please. Come again with the timings, please.
Tom, are we using the same link?
Yeah, we're
yes.
using
Throughout
the
the day. Are we using
yeah.
The mathematicians we didn't ask you help us because the math there. There's no math.
Sick of math, so you the stammer. The stammer say mathematician the stammer. Hey, boss. Sick of math, you say the mathematician the stammer.
So I think this is why it is important to us to have the group study thing going because like I said, the session is being recorded still.
But I think it's a step, one step at a time, So let's be taking it one step at a time. We'll be getting it small.
Go shower. Everything
Please,
cool
you
down.
realize that even the lecturer said that we are supposed to separate into groups of 10, creating 13 groups. The lecturer said that. So big groups of 40, it will be very difficult for us to be able to learn together. So